Hello, everybody. Welcome to Business Administration 614 Health Services Management. I am your professor, Dr. Jeremy Roberts. And so my pedigree is there, Doctor of Management, not a MD, as many of you probably are, but a DM in Information Systems and Technology. I have an MBA in Management Information Systems, and I'm also a project management professional. So what we're going to do is talk about the course overall. This is the first week. We're getting to know each other. I'm going to give you a little bit about myself, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about, what's ahead in this course. And I appreciate if you guys go ahead and submit your introductions to ECampus. That way I can learn more about you guys. I have a web roster where I can see most of your faces. Some of you looked familiar. I had to actually look to see if I had a conflict of interest, like you might have been my doctor or my family's doctor or provider at one point. But in doing my own quick research, I don't think there's anything like that. But I have heard of some of your names. So I'm looking forward to this semester. Even though it's asynchronous, that means, we're not going to have any real-time meetings. So I'm going to try to do a video like this every week just to introduce the topics and try to be a little bit more, how do I say it, more personable, that instead of just some name on a computer screen. So like I said, we're going to do a little bit of a course overview. Now we're going to have some projects in here, and there's a lot of teamwork. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Some key terms and concepts, we'll talk about that too. So let's go ahead and, my introduction here. So I've worked in many industries, military. I was in the United States Marine Corps. Then I went after the Marine Corps. I received sufficient injuries where they wouldn't let me continue. So I worked for the federal government, essentially doing the same exact thing, but I got to choose what I wore every day. Instead of wearing the camouflage uniform, I got to choose, where if I wore jeans that day or I wore a business suit. Pretty fun. I do miss it. When I worked for the federal government, I actually worked for the Department of the Navy. So I was working with the Marines, since I was in the Marine Corps. So it just kind of felt like a great fit. However, things happen. I moved. So I moved industries. I actually went to nonprofit, but I still kept my connection to the military. And I was working for the Disabled American Veterans. So I was helping veterans get the benefits and other things they've earned through their military service. And working with the Department of Veterans Affairs and Social Security and trying to get them the benefits. After that, I moved on to retail, and my niche is supply chain. So when I was in the military, I was in supply chain, federal government, supply chain, nonprofit. I kind of moved into operations, which is kind of like the overarching thing for supply chain. But I went back to supply chain, and I worked for Walmart, and so I did a lot of inventory reconciliation. I was really good with the numbers, and I could find out where problems were. I also led a couple projects for Walmart down at the local store level, or the region around a certain store. And then where I'm at today, I'm working for the state government at West Virginia University as your professor. So I've been at WVU since 2019, fall of 2019. And it's a great area. We had some snow, 2 days ago, roughly, or just Friday. And, that was a little hiccup, but, it's pretty much gone today. I mean, it's, let's see, what time is it? It is 11:37 at night on Sunday. So, hey, this is probably the time where I'll be making most of my videos. Not that that matters to you guys, but, the house is quiet and the baby's not crying. I'm married. I have a kid. 20-month-old son, and that's why I had to check, because I saw some of the names were familiar, and I didn't know if you guys were the doctor of my son or my wife or anything like that, but we're all good, like I mentioned. I have a lot of volunteer experience, and the one that's relevant to this course is emergency medical services. So when I lived in North Carolina, I was an EMT intermediate at the 1985 standard, and I was also a nationally registered EMT. So I took a test to become nationally registered. I'm not sure what the equivalent would be in the medical side. Maybe it's board certified or something like that, where you meet a higher standard. Not trying to compare EMT to any of your board certifications if you have that. It's just, the first thing that popped in my head. And I do that a lot. I say a lot of things that just kind of pop into my head. One thing I'm working on. But I was an EMT for a number of years. So I worked for the City of Havelock Fire and Rescue Department in North Carolina. Then I went on to Swansboro EMS Rescue Squad. And during that time, I was also part of the State Medical Assistance Team. It was called SMAT Level 2. So Level 2 was a regional asset. So we could provide a field hospital for basically a third of the state of North Carolina. And that's a lot of equipment. I was on the logistics side, and because I was an EMT, I kind of dabbled on the medical side too. But, they had a core of medical providers, nurses, doctors, everybody that they could need already locked in. So I was, being an EMT, I was on the lower level, like triage, immediate triage. But I was also certified in hazardous materials level 2, which basically means I could play with the stuff and do the decontamination should it be required before they got into the field hospitals or even a regular hospital where there was contamination of individuals. So I did all that as a volunteer. Now, my day job, as I mentioned, was, all those different industries. But, I did it so much, I even got to keep my helmet, my EMT helmet. So so I'm not an outsider per se. I'm more on the emergency side, but we're going to talk about services in general and from mainly a project management perspective, because there's a lot of things that, regardless of your industry, cross over very easily. And, I looked up some of you because I recognize your names and I saw that you're in pretty senior positions. So this course is going to be very helpful for you. But this course is also where you take it. So basically, we're going to start off by introducing some project management concepts. Like a project, for example, is not a everyday thing. It's not meant to do operations like decontaminating or sterilizing an operating room. No. Now, if you're going to renovate an operating room, that's a project. But sterilizing after a procedure is not a project. That's just a regular operation. So there's a kind of I don't want to say a thin line, but there is kind of a graying line between that. So projects are usually one-time endeavors where operations are just regular things that repeat every so often. So, excuse me. The project management life cycle. So we're going to, go from planning all the way through the closing of the project. Because you're in an MBA, you're going to be coming into the senior positions, or you already are in these positions. So you're going to be part of that life cycle. And you're also going to be influencing what projects get done. You might be in that decision. And sooner or later, you guys might be in the executive level or the administration level of your medical system. And you might be the final say. You're the last signature that says go with this project or we're not doing this project. So having a understanding of project management will definitely help you in your journey towards more senior management. And even though we're creating and updating project documentation so we know what we're doing, what we have done, we need to assess our performance in our projects and know the status of them. In a hospital system, most hospitals are not operating with a huge surplus of money. So every dollar counts. And especially because, people are, the pandemic hit. So a lot of, let's say, elective procedures were stopped. More resource intensive treatment was needed for COVID. But, somebody getting a nose job, couldn't get it done. I actually had a deviated septum that I had fixed about 3 weeks ago. So it just took that long to get onto the schedule because of restrictions and stuff like that. But, knowing that a project is worth continuing or just stopping cold in its tracks, there's a point where you need to make that decision, whether you're going to spend more money and waste more money. And some of us might choose that option. Others might say, we're going to throw more money at this because we're trying to save the project. But the best decision might be just to stop it right there. So So knowing the performance, what our project is doing and the status going on. Now, we're not diving into all the math formulas that can help us determine how we're doing in our project, but our text might cover a couple of them. If you do choose to move on to the project management professional certification, you will definitely need to know some of these, like earned value and the planned value and all these other small equations. Excuse me again. But we can definitely eyeball it at this level and figure out what's going on. I've been told that you guys are in project teams. So therefore, this course is heavy in project work. So 70% of your projects, or 70% of your course grade, I should say, is in projects. So I have 3 papers and then a project portfolio. So you'll actually be, the papers are relative to the medical system, such as queuing theory. How do people choose what line to get in if there's multiple lines? Or, excuse me, I was hoping I wouldn't cough this much, but sorry about that. And there's also other topics that I have in there. There's only 3 papers and no more. The minimum is 5 pages, not including a cover page, references, anything like that. So your project team could probably knock that out in a couple hours because of your backgrounds. I mean, you're master's students now. Some of you have already moved on to a doctorate. I mean, looking at your pictures, I saw some white coats. So therefore, I imagine you've done your fair share of papers. But don't let these just be something that you do and be done with. Actually learn from these topics. The project portfolio, I'm still developing this, but we do have some documents that go along with project management, such as a charter, such as a business case. Why do you want to do this project? A work breakdown structure. How are you going to do this project? Break it down to small pieces. So it's not like trying to eat the elephant. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. Same thing with the project. So you'll see this come up. Excuse me again. But make sure that you keep up with it. Now, I'm planning to bring in Microsoft Project, and I'm working to figure out if the free version, because I don't want you guys to spend any more money, if the free version will allow me or allow you guys to do what I want. So worst case scenario, I don't include it in this semester, and I'm sorry if I can't, but best scenario, you guys will be able to play around with Microsoft Project. It's almost the gold standard when it comes to project management. Now, many companies have used different ones, but Microsoft Project is like the gold standard. But like I mentioned when I got into this slide, I need to know who's in your teams. I've been told that you guys are already broken down into teams, so I don't want to disrupt that harmony that you guys have already developed. So I need you guys to send me an email, and I'll show you the syllabus and my email address and all that at the end here. And I need the full names of the people on your team. Please don't put like John and nothing else. There might be 3 Johns in this class. So please put the person's full name. I don't need honorifics or, juniors or seniors, just go ahead and give me the first name and last name of who's on your team. And I don't mind if 3 people on the team give me the same 3 or 4 names, whatever's your team. Please do it, because that ensures that I get it right. So go ahead and email that to me when you get the chance. So some highlights on the syllabus. I have over 500 students this semester, so please put BADM 614 in the subject line. That signals to me that it's for this class, and I usually pick up or respond to the emails for this class first, or the graduate level classes first. So please put that in the subject line. You can add whatever you want else after that in the subject line. I just need that because it jumps out at me. Every week we're going to have discussion posts. So I'm going to need an initial post, usually by Friday, and then 2 more responses to your classmates by Sunday, midnight. I would like these posts to be 200 words or more. You guys can do it. I know you can. So please, I mean, 200 words, I mean, you just get on a roll and you're already at 500 words. So, be detailed, expound on your idea. Think of other possibilities, that kind of stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of teamwork, so don't slack off and stay on top of the assignments. Every week there's some deliverable except for week 1 and week 8. Week 1, that starts, Monday. Week 8, that's the last week of the course. I usually don't assign any projects or anything that week because of a final exam. Now, I mentioned final exam. I'm deciding how I'm going to do the final exam. This is a graduate level course, so I'm not required to give you a final exam, but I want to test you guys a little bit. And, got to make you guys work for that A, right? Anyway, so one thing that I tell every class that I have, I'm human. I enter grades incorrectly into ECampus, not frequently, but it happens. So let me know of any errors. I will fix them. I'm not going to fight you on it. If I incorrectly entered a grade, I will fix it. Academic dishonesty. I just don't tolerate it. I've had it happen every single semester since I've been at the university. And, I just reported to student conduct. And my recommendation to them, depending on the severity, is a course failure, which just means you have to take the course again, or what's called unforgivable failure, which means you're done with this course. You are not allowed to take it again. I've only made one recommendation for an unforgivable failure, and that student was actually suspended from the university for what they did. But unforgivable failure would mean that you cannot complete this degree because you're not allowed to take this class again. You will receive an F. Actually, it will show up as a UF on your transcript. Just don't do it. Academic dishonesty is not worth it. If you have any issues, contact me. We can set up a time to chat by Zoom, phone, I don't care. We'll figure it out. But don't go down the route of academic dishonesty, please. So at the back end of the syllabus, there's a tentative schedule. This is the first time this course is being ran. So what might look good on paper might be horrible. So please let me know. I need that feedback. And because this is the first time this course is being ran, there's going to be some errors every so often. One just missed it. Others could be, it looked good on paper, and when it got onto ECampus, it doesn't look so good. Please have a little bit of patience and compassion, but let me know. Finally, I need your feedback. Like I mentioned it several times, this is the first iteration of this course. Your feedback will make it better for future cohorts. And your feedback could make an immediate improvement on the course, depending on what it is. So definitely reach out to me. The more specific you can be with the feedback is great. If you say you really love these videos that I make, great. Let me know what you like about these videos. If you like the videos but hate how long I talk, because sometimes I'm long-winded, let me know that. That way I can work on that too. But let me know. Be detailed. All right. And oops. Okay. So this is our, let me make it bigger so you can see it. All right. There we go. So ECampus, which you'll have access, in 8 minutes, you'll have access to this. Just some navigation tips here. So if you go to the Start Here course syllabus, that first link right there is the course syllabus. It's in a Google document format, so that way you can access it. You must be using your Mix account, though, your WVU Mix account. Your textbook, it's available at the bookstore, but I've compared prices, and Amazon actually has it cheaper if you're not trying to buy a brand new book. If it's brand new that you're looking for, the bookstore does have a better pricing. If you're looking for used, Amazon has better pricing. It's up to you. And here's a picture of the cover of the book. That should help narrow it down so you don't get the wrong version. There's only two, first edition and second edition. And I put the ISBN number in case you want to look elsewhere for the book. Let's see here. Some general stuff if you want to click through it. I imagine some of you might look at this, some of you might not, but it's up to you. Course content. So I broke it down into weeks. And then each week, for example, so week 1, the slides. So the slides I just showed you is that what that link will bring up. A discussion post. So I'd like you guys to respond to this. That way I can get to know you guys a little bit. If you don't want to answer any of those questions and you want to go off in a different direction, go for it. You guys are going to get out of this course what you put into it. Now, I put here, you don't have to respond to your fellow classmates this post, but if you want, I encourage it. Let's see here. The following weeks, you'll have to respond to at least 2 other individuals, but you can't see what other people have posted until you make the initial post for yourself. So it's kind of like, you can't just copy somebody else, which I don't think anybody's going to do. So individual discussion boards, if you go to this link directly, you'll see every weekly discussion pop up. It will pop up on Monday at 12:01 a.m. and it will be there after that. So if we're in week 6, you can go back to week 2 and take a look and see what's there. Team papers, they'll show up as they go through. So some general information, 5 pages in length, not including any title page, executive summary, or abstract and references. I prefer you guys use APA version 7 for your in-text citation and reference page. I'm not an English professor, so I'm not going to look at, did you use APA document formatting? I don't care. I want you guys to get the material and understand what you guys were writing about more than anything. So, however, I'm not an English professor. I'm a supply chain professor. But if your grammar and all that stuff is just bugging the heck out of me, I'm going to grade you on it. But like I said, that's not my goal. I'm looking for you guys to get the content. Write the paper as if you're going to give it to a senior hospital administrator or a hospital executive. Try to target that level of writing. So, all right. Project portfolio. So the requirements, so there's going to be 3 things to turn in. And here's slides that show them all. They're not hidden from you guys. So you can click on one, it'll pop up a PowerPoint presentation. You can see everything there. And that way you guys can take a look and see what you guys need to do. Now I've also provided template files. So if you guys don't know how to create one of these files, just click on the template and there's all of them you can need right there. Now, these template files are just examples. If you want to use them or modify them to better suit your situation, go for it. Like the RACI chart, responsible, accountable, consult, and inform. If you want to add something else to that, great, do it. If you want to modify that document, go for it. Whatever works best for you guys. There is no one size fits all. All right. Circle in. It's a thing the university is pushing us. Let's see. I don't know if it will. Yeah. So you can do some chats and some stuff and make flashcards. I put it there because I have it on all my classes, but I'm not sure if, I'm not sure if it's actually going to let me go back. Okay. But, okay, hold on. Let me get back here. All right. Yeah, so final exam, I'm not going to show you guys that yet because I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. If you guys want to check out the grade book, click on My Grades. If you want to see the calendar, all the due dates should be on the calendar. But double check with the syllabus schedule. The syllabus schedule will be the master document. Any announcements? I generally don't do announcements. I'll do the email to you guys. If needed, I can set up Zoom links with you guys so we can set that up. Now that's the send emails for me to send it out to you guys. So I have open office hours in person in B&E, the Business and Economics College. I'm in room 328, 3 o'clock to 4:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I can do outside of that by Zoom or in person. You just need to reach out and we can schedule something. So yeah, that is ECampus. Let's see here. So yeah, there's my email address, jgr00001 at mix.wvu.edu. So shoot me an email with your team. I need that information. That way I can make sure the assignments are recorded correctly. Yeah, so we're going to be going till March 4th. That is the last day of class. And it's asynchronous, so we have no scheduled meeting times. However, I could be open to meeting in person or on Zoom for you guys at a specific time, should there be a need for it. Let's see. In the syllabus, there's a little bit of a description about what the assignments are. Well, discussion board, project portfolio. This is what's actually in each part 1, 2, and 3 of that project portfolio. Let's see, final exam. I really haven't decided if I'm giving that to you guys. I know I mentioned that a few times. Grade breakdown. Discussion board is going to be worth 20%. Papers are going to be worth 30%. So that's 3 papers at 10% each. The project portfolio is going to be worth 40% of your overall grade. And that final exam is worth 10%. And for your letter grade, I'm just doing a straight, and I have no idea why my lights just went on. Okay. So anyway, you guys can still see me. So 90% and above, A, 80, 70. Now here's where it's different than most of your other classes probably. 65% is the lowest grade you can get as a passing grade, D. So 64.9 and below is going to be an F. It works out better because if you're not retaining that much information, I'm not confident in letting you move on in my own choice. Let's see, incorrect grades. Let me know. I'll fix them. I put here that you guys have a week to let me know, and I'll fix it within 72 hours. If it's the last day of the class and you have identified an incorrect grade from week 2, I'll fix it. You guys are earning your grades. I'm going to give you what you earned. All right. And yeah, so here's that schedule that I was talking about. So week 1, we're going to read chapter 1 and 2. My goal was about 30 pages a week in the text. And discussion board, you can see it's due at 11:59, Friday, January 14th. And, I've tried to lay it out there for you guys to understand it easier. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Week 8, there's 3 chapters. Like I said, each week is about 30 to 40 pages of reading. Final exam. I was going to give you the entire week to do it. But, yeah. So I'm going to call it there. If you guys have any questions, wow. All right. I'm not sure what happened to my thing there, but let's see. I'll just go back to that one. All right. There. Now, I don't look so bad. Okay. If you guys have any questions, send me an email. I will generally respond within 24 hours, usually less. And I look forward to the semester. And like I said, this class is really about what you guys want to get out of it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the end result, being the first time that this class has been run. So if you guys, excuse me again. Probably should have drank more water before starting. But anyway, yeah. Shoot me an email if you guys have questions. And if you want to have like a weekly Zoom session, if the majority of the class wants it, I'll do it. Probably on a Friday is thinking of my schedule. Probably Friday if we want to go that route. But the class is designed as to be asynchronous, where we don't have a regular session. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Sorry for being so long-winded. I crossed the 30-minute mark, so that was not my intention. So, all right, you have a great evening or morning or day, whatever it may be when you guys get this, and I will see you in class. All right, bye.